Hello, everybody. I am Viviana Guzman. We are here, the Flute View, interviewing Burkart Flutes. Yay! So tell us, we have never done an interview with Burkart Flutes, the amazing flutes that they are. And we have here with us this afternoon, Ethan and Daniel. And why don't you start by telling us a little bit about Burkart, how it got started and who's in charge, you know, the details.
Oh, who's in charge? Well, hi everyone. My name is Ethan Lin, and I am the sales manager of Burkart Flutes and Piccolos.
And I'm Daniel Carlo, and I'm one of the flute and piccolo specialists here at Burkhardt.
Yes. So as far as our company, you know, we started back in 1982 as head joint and piccolo maker. And as we develop as a company, we incorporate the full line of flutes, and now we make flutes and piccolos under the guidance of Lillian Burkhardt.
Ah, so she's in charge.
She's our boss lady.
And Ethan, I'm actually in Los Angeles right now, and I know you have a lot of history here, and you studied here.
I did.
You even played with the LA Phil.
I subbed with the Phil one time, but yes, I grew up in Los Angeles. I did my undergrad at UCLA with Sheridan Stokes, and then I did my master's with Jim Walker at USC.
And you also worked at Flutatious, right?
I did. So my background, before I was a full-time flute salesperson, I actually started as a repair tech. And I was back in same time I started grad school. So it was around 2005. So I've been in this business since then.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then
go ahead.
Daniel.
I'm sort of the newcomer to the flute business. I did my undergrad at Wheaton College with Jenny Brown. I went and did my master's at Indiana University with Thomas Robertello. And then just last year, I finished up my doctorate with Carol Winsense. And I was fortunate at the very end of my doctorate to be brought on board with the Burkhardt team. So I'm going on 2 years now with Burkhardt.
Wonderful.
But Dan actually started as a customer of mine.
I did. I was a repeat customer.
I trapped him in buying a piccolo first, and then he bought a flute, and then we brought him on board.
It's true. It's true. My piccolo was so great that
I came back for a flute.
I came back for a flute.
Fabulous. That is fabulous. So thank you for telling us a little bit about both of you. And I know you have something very special happening at Burkhardt coming up. And so would you like to tell us about the Burkhardt Academy? What it is, what's special,
Sure.
Anything you want to share with us?
Sure, we'd love to. Burkhardt Academy is our first time putting this event together. Is on the weekend of October 24th to the 27th. It's a 4-day, 3-night, I would say, intensive audition prep institute format. And featuring the faculty is my teacher, Jim Walker, and Dan's teacher, Carol Winsense, as well as an orchestral and I would say audition specialist, the associate principal of the Los Angeles Philharmonic, Kathy Ransom-Carolee.
Right.
So basically this event is going to be at Stony Brook University, and every day there will be rounds of private lesson. Each participant will get to have one-on-one time with Carol, Jim, and Kathy. And throughout their lessons, they're also able to observe each other's lesson. Everything is in the small group format. And at the end of the day, we will hold a mock audition. And this is for the participant to get immediate feedback from the faculty. And this is, I would say, geared towards advanced high school students going into university or university graduates going into grad school.
Wow. What prompted the creation of the Burkhardt Academy? What started it? Whose idea was it?
Well, Lillian's passion has really always been teaching. whether it is the flute or how to make the flute, from the production side all the way to, she's a teacher. And over the years, we're really trying to, how should we say this, come up with the best way to use our resources. And if you look at the Burkhardt artist roster, between Jim and Carol, that's 4 most desirable schools in the US. And every year, hundreds of students come and audition for them. So this is really for the students.
Oh, that's great. So what makes the Burkhardt Academy different from other like audition masterclass boot camps out there?
Exactly. Well, I think Ethan touched on it already. The idea that we've got multiple rounds of auditions for students each day. They're really getting that instant feedback from all of the teachers, in addition to the one-on-one time each day with each teacher. The goal is really, it seems like this day and age, a lot of students are doing that pre-audition lesson with a teacher. They're traveling all over the country, they're taking a lesson, they're getting to know a teacher. And really, I think at the root of Burkhardt Academy, students are going to be able to spend every day with these 3 teachers, for 4 days in a row. So the goal is that by the time they're done, not only have they learned a vast amount from all of these teachers. They've done mock auditions. They've sort of hopefully worked out the kinks for all of their auditions, but they've gotten to know the teachers and spend time around the teachers, and the teachers know them and know they're playing, and they leave Burkhardt Academy with their to-do list really before they get to their audition, before it's the real time.
Yeah, and students are more than welcome to come with their resume. And there is also going to be a portfolio evaluation by the faculty. And I believe on our schedule, each faculty is giving a workshop of some form. I think Carol, for example, we had proposed, and actually, I think fun fact, I'm sort of like the oddball here, but all 4 of you have either association with Juilliard or Carol of some form, right?
Right. Yeah, I was a Carol student actually.
So you know how valuable it is to have the opportunity to study with Carol.
I wish I had that. Before I got into Juilliard, I would have loved to have that time.
And really, it's also our goal for the students to get to know the teachers, and also hopefully walk away with even. The deadline is, the time frame is the end of October. And as we all know, the pre-screen tape is usually due December 1st. So that's another reason why it's during that time. So hopefully a student can even walk away with the pre-screen tape done.
Right.
I
know it's a lot.
It's all getting so complicated just to go to school. So why don't you tell us now a little bit, I'm losing my voice, about what's new at Burkhardt? Just, so our listeners can really experience the energy around what's going on at Burkhardt now.
Sure thing. We do offer a variety of flutes and piccolos at different price range, different material, and different specifications. But I would say the newest and the most exciting thing that's happening with Burkhardt is since last November, Burkhardt, we have officially teamed up with Manka Head Joints. Toby Manka, a fantastic head joint maker. He makes flute and piccolo head joints, and we make flute and piccolos. So this collaboration, it just happened very naturally. And I think between Toby and Lillian, they admire each other's work for many years. So, and it's been doing very, very well for us. Yeah.
Awesome.
That's great. Congratulations.
Awesome. What is it like to work with Lillian? She's the only, is she still the first, definitely first female flute maker? Is she still the only female flute maker out there? I don't know of any others.
In our shop, we have, we have makers that are female, but as far as being the original, we often call her the first lady of flute making. You know, she's still the OG, but I'll let Daniel share his experience first. I mean, he's kind of the new one in our Burkhardt family.
Yeah, it's been absolutely wonderful working on this team. Lillian is absolutely legendary in the field of flute making and piccolo making, and just the amount of knowledge and expertise that she has when it comes to making an instrument. I mean, she can really do it all from the very beginning stages down to cutting a head joint. And of course, she's trained up a team of flute and piccolo makers that do that very well under her guidance. She is just absolutely phenomenal. Not only as a flute maker, but as a female businesswoman. In this day and age, she's just so knowledgeable, and I feel like I've learned so much in my position just for the short amount of time that I've been here.
For sure. And you know, Lillian is also a fantastic flutist. I think one thing that really sets our company apart is, for example, when the instruments are done, they go through a pre-testing stage, and that job falls on Dan and I. You know, we do the pre-testing, make sure the instruments are sealing properly, mechanically, the instruments working, you know, performing well. And then every single Burkhardt flute and piccolo, once it's done pre-testing, it always has Lillian's final approval and blessing on the instrument. So she plays every single Burkhardt flute and piccolo before it goes out the door.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's really kind of sets us apart.
So, I mean, what's a typical day look like for you guys at Burkhardt? I know you both travel a ton and on the road quite a lot. And I know that can get difficult, but when you're in the office, like now, what does a typical day consist of?
But you know, on that note, since you ladies do social media so much, Dan and I have an idea. You know, one day we should have like you ladies and us just spend a day together at a flute show. So people can, you know, that aren't able to make it to a show will know what's life of a flute salesperson like.
Yeah, absolutely.
But day to day, you know, there's quite a bit of administrative work. And I think that is something really Lillian had taught us how to do, because let's face it, you know, we went to school for music, and transitioning to a more business-oriented job, you know, requires a lot of other skills, you know, beyond just fast fingers, right? So a lot of emails, a lot of phone calls, and then, as I mentioned, we do a lot of testing, make sure that our dealers and our customers get their instrument, whether it's repair, trial, or their orders on time, and that's very, very important. And also just trying to arrange our own travels. Yeah, and on average, I would say Dan and I, we've been on the road every single weekend since February.
Oh.
Wow, and it's May.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So that's difficult. So, and fun. You know, there's certainly different ways to think about that for sure. What's your favorite thing, each of you, about working at Burkhardt? If you could name one thing.
Oh, one thing.
One thing.
That's very difficult. Okay, one or two things.
One or two.
I would say I really do. Ethan mentioned the testing. I really do enjoy being able to test, you know, all the instruments that we make. It's exciting when you have a solid gold flute that's coming down the line, or a piccolo with gold mechanism, or, you know, a platinum flute. We make just such extraordinary instruments, and there's something special about being able to be the first one to sort of get your hands on it and put it through its paces. But we're a small company, so this will be number two. Number two, I think, would be I do a fair amount of graphic design and web design behind the scenes. We are a small company, so we all have our hands sort of in different things and different projects.
He designed this.
Did design poster.
The Burkhardt Academy poster.
And that's been really fun, just something that I'm picking up and learning as I go along with the job. I had some experience with that before, but being able to kind of get my hands into web design and graphic design. And of course, it's all flute related, which is wonderful.
Yeah, for sure.
Mine, I mean, there's so many things that I like about Burkhardt, but really after all these years, this is my 7th year with Burkhardt. And after all these years, my favorite thing is probably still helping a customer finding the right instrument. I really think that's the most rewarding thing. And you ladies have known me for some time now. I love engaging people. I love talking to people, whether it's over the phone with the customers or even here. Like Dan and I spend a lot of time together outside of work. And, we're good friends, and he said it's a small company, but really it's like a small family here at Burkhardt, and I just absolutely love it.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, bringing it back to the Burkhardt Academy, what might a student expect out of attending it? What would be the takeaway that is totally different from any other masterclass out there?
I would say it's just you are with everyone there wants to succeed, and you are going to be paired and grouped with everyone that's on the same boat. So it's a competitive, but yet I think a very friendly environment, and we'll make sure that happens. And I think so many master classes out there, you're working on different repertoire versus this is very, very specific. We have a very specific set of excerpts as well as solos that we expect the participants to learn and have it at performance level before they arrive. And just the fact that I think you're able to play for Carol Winston's, and she can tell you, these are the few things you need to do before you come to audition for me at Juilliard or at Stony Brook, or have, there's even a chance, and then actually Jim said he's very comfortable with sharing this, is if he meets a high-level student at this event, he's willing to waive the pre-screening for the student. So there are many, many benefits to come to this event, including a small scholarship that Burkhardt is offering for applicants that, if they would like to apply for a scholarship, there is a small amount of money that we can contribute to the tuition.
Awesome. So when are applications due, and where can students find more information about Burkhardt Academy?
Yep. So any information about Burkhardt Academy, you can head to our website, burkhardt.com/Burkhardt Academy. Actually, when you navigate to the website, it's the first thing that pops up, so go ahead and click on that. You'll see a schedule of events that we've posted. You'll see all the music that should be learned prior to the audition. The application is located there as well. I believe
you can find it on Flute View.
Right on our homepage.
Right on the homepage. That's where you can find it as well.
Exactly. And as far as admissions go, we are in a rolling admissions situation. So we are just encouraging everyone to apply as soon as possible. Spots are filling up. So obviously we do have to cap a certain number. And so it's important to get your application in early, and acceptance follows soon after that.
Oh, and actually one more thing, Viviana, you mentioned like what sets us apart. Sorry, it's just coming. Ideas just coming, This event is actually at Stony Brook University. So the master classes as well as your lessons are all in the music facility. So students, high school students, will get to have the opportunity to experience a little bit of college campus life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another thing that's pretty cool.
Great, great.
What else can you tell them about it? Let's see. Is everything going to be videotaped so that the
recording is highly encouraged. We are trying to figure out how we could help the students record, but they're more than welcome to bring their own recording device.
That's great. And is it hard to get into? What is your criteria?
You know, at the moment, I mean, the way we advertised it is for advancing players. And really, I think when you're auditioning for someone like a Jim or a Carol, I think you are pretty solid to start with. So we're not too worried about that.
Okay, good, good.
Sounds fantastic. I want to go.
You're invited.
You're invited.
You're invited. And actually, as a side note, we do have auditor spaces as well. Check out the website for information on that. Perhaps you'd be interested in auditing and spending a few days with us as well. But those spots are available. Check that out on the website.
Will there be any exhibitors?
You're looking at them. Yeah, Burkhardt's will be exhibiting, and also we're still ironing out the final little details, but there will actually be some repair services as well.
Oh, great.
And it's not just open to Burkhardt players, but all the participants, because we know how awful it can be the day before your audition and your instrument breaks down. So we want to make sure everyone walks away with the perfectly working instrument, so they'll lead them to success.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, and actually, you know, I think certain meals are also provided at this event, so the students will able to work hard, eat, to get a little bit of relaxation time, and get back to work.
Sounds like fun.
Well,
yeah.
We're gonna, before we wrap up, I just wanted to ask the one question that I ask everybody who gets interviewed by the Flute View, and that is, how about some words of wisdom for the young viewers that we have out there?
Oh, wow. Words of wisdom.
Well, I can start us off.
Here you go. I have so many.
While you get that together. My only advice is that if you're a flutist and you're going to school for flute, just keep playing the flute, just keep pursuing your passion, and eventually you will land yourself in a spot that allows you to utilize those skills and utilize that passion. I never would have dreamed that I would have had a job working at a flute maker in the way that I do. Certainly don't make the instruments, but being able to travel and be so closely involved with the flute world. I mean, I'm in the flute world all the time, even if I'm not currently and actively playing to make a living. It's just been really rewarding. So stay in school, kids.
Mine would be on the same line as Daniel's. And this is actually, I'm going to give Lillian credit for this saying, is to keep a really good journal of personal inventory. And what that means is, Dan mentioned that he did his undergrad at Wheaton College with Jenny Brown. What he did not say is his degree was actually in math. It's not. And as far as for me, I would have never had this job if I didn't have the repair background, the flute selling background, you know, as I think a decent flutist, as well as the ability to speak Chinese. So I can speak with our manufacturers and our outsourced, you know, overseas. So all these things, I mean, Dan is a spreadsheet wizard. You know, he's amazing at it. And all these little things, you know, Viviana, like multilingual, right? I think Fluter, your entrepreneurship, and Barbara, you're teaching, you have students all over the world. And I think all these little skills, maybe for a younger person, they probably don't have, you know, the idea, like, to grasp it, like how to utilize it. But these are all the things that people can't take it away from you. These are your own. So keep working on them, refining them, and yeah, so I would say, like Dan said, stay in school.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure to chat with you both. Everyone watching, you must check out burkhardt.com, sign up for the Burkhardt Academy, happening this fall in October. Hope to see you there.
Yes.
And well, thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure. So
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye.
bye.